prawn linguine is a great quick meal, and we've got a twist on it to make sure it's only ready in 15 minutes, so you can have dinner super quick. So the first thing I've got to do is get my water boiling. You want to make sure it's really salted. And then I've got 400 grams of linguine. So in the time it takes our pasta to cook, we're going to be able to get all the other elements together. So first of all, I've got some parsley. And don't just use this as a garnish, we're going to use it for some flavor. So take those stalks and just finely chop them. I've got 3 cloves of garlic, and we're just going to finely chop them as well. Next up, I've got some anchovies. Don't be afraid of using them, they're going to give a really great savory kick. So we're just going to get our pan onto medium heat and add a decent lug of olive oil. So we'll go straight into the pan, and also with some chili flakes. You could leave them out if you don't like too much heat, but they do give a really nice kick. And just some freshly ground black pepper as well. You want to make sure this doesn't burn, so work quickly. Okay, and straight in with some grape tomatoes, and then just coat them in that garlic mixture. I'm just going to add some tomato paste now, which will just increase the richness of the sauce. Whenever you add tomato paste, make sure you cook it out really well. So just give that a coat through all those tomatoes. And what you're going to need to do is just grab a masher, and we're going to break each tomato, and that way it's just going to release some of their sweet juice. Go straight in with some dry white wine. Just make sure you don't use a sweet wine, so I'm using some Chardonnay here, and just bring that back to a simmer. I've got my prawns here, and I've cleaned and peeled them, but left the tails intact. They only really need to heat through in the sauce. You just want to make sure you don't cook them for too long, because they will get really tough otherwise. Okay, so those prawns have changed color, indicating that they pretty much cooked through. I'm just going to add a little bit of butter, and I'm adding butter because the sauce is quite acidic with those tomatoes and all the white wine, and this just really mellows it out. So make sure you do add the butter, because butter does make everything better. Okay, those prawns are cooked through, pasta's done. This recipe is all about timing, so grab your perfectly al dente pasta, drag it over into the sauce. Gather about half a cup of that cooking water as well, and just pour that over. It's really nice starchy water that'll help the sauce thicken a bit. So while that's finishing up, we're just going to get on with some of our parsley and just straight into the sauce as well. Now the purists are going to disagree with me, but I'm going to add some parmesan to the sauce as well. I know it's a seafood pasta, but it does really help the sauce, and don't be shy. Now we're just going to give everything a toss through and just give it a bit of a season to taste. But that parmesan is going to add a bit of saltiness, so don't give too much. And while it's hot, just plate up. Make sure you get some of that sauce on top as well, and of course, a little bit more parmesan. Now that's an incredibly easy dinner, ready as soon as you walk in the door. 15 minutes later, you're enjoying this pasta.